Hello, my name is Mark Galvan, and I am going to give you additional information now about the Senior Creative Strategist opportunity with GlobeRunner. Now, GlobeRunner is based in Dallas, Texas. However, this is a virtual, remote, or work from home opportunity. So anybody that's eligible can take on this type of work. And specifically, we're looking for someone to take on a freelance or consultant opportunity. You could have your own business, your own LLC. You could be an independent consultant working with multiple clients. Any of those scenarios is golden. Okay, now what this is an audio overview of additional information that is not available on the web. So you have additional information to be able to make a decision about whether or not this is a good opportunity for you. We have an immediate need for one person to provide additional consultative support to the team, and this is a high-level strategist role. It's a new opportunity where we're bringing somebody in to help drive some contract projects on an as-needed basis, and because this is a scenario where the company's growing, this opportunity does exist for a partner to join us. Now, why are we doing this? Well, number one, this is time sensitive, and we want to be able to get this information to you anytime. So typically what would happen is we would have one of our team members reach out to you and set up a time to talk to you and go over some information, ask some questions, get some information about your business and your background. And all of that scheduling typically protracts everything out onto the calendar because, the weekends hit and we just are constantly trying to reschedule things. This way, you have an opportunity to get a lot of information right up front. You can listen to it, you can rewind, you can listen to it over, and you can take notes, and then we're going to ask for some additional information from you. And you can take your time and give a very thoughtful response to that additional request for information. So it's actually better for you because you can, put your best put forward. You can have a portfolio presented and your skills and abilities highlighted to the best of your ability. So hopefully this is something that is of interest to you. My role is I work with all types of talent, and I work with folks that are partners with the business. They could be independent contractors. And what we do is we help filter all the potential candidates for an opportunity like this. And we help schedule all the follow-up conversations and the interviews and the discussions with our internal team members. So this is only for folks that we've already pre-qualified and we've already looked at your background, your skills and experience, and we've determined, yep, you are on target and you are of interest to us. So where you're at right now in the process is we've posted some things online, we've sent some emails to some people, and you've seen something somewhere and you've responded and you've provided some additional information, or we've pre-screened you without you even knowing it. We got your website, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, something, and we've made those reviews and we've said, okay, we're good to speak with you. And so now you're kind of in the middle of the process and you don't even know it. So we take the responsibility of now presenting you with a lot of information to be able to consider next steps. So let me start off by asking if one of these scenarios sounds like the situation you're in, because that might determine if this is a good fit. First of all, you might just be looking for more money. You may be working for an agency or an in-house digital advertising team on a large company, and you're looking for an opportunity to break out of that and you just want to earn more money. That's great. But in another scenario, you might be looking for something that looks more like growth. Like maybe you're already consulting with another company, you're already doing digital marketing services, and you're wanting to add another client. You're wanting to add another consulting opportunity and develop another relationship with another business. Well, that growth opportunity is something we offer right now. And in some cases, we've got folks that may want to just improve their resume and their portfolio by working with a well-recognized organization that is also working with larger clients, because all those logos end up on your resume. If you're supporting the client organizations, that just shows up in your portfolio, which gets stronger over time. Or maybe you're looking for a situation where you're trying to establish a business to business relationship and create some long-term stable workflow. And, in an environment like today, stable income, stable workflow, stable opportunities is, the holy grail, right? So, that's something else that we can offer, because GlobeRunner just continues to grow and grow. And it's funny, through the pandemic, GlobeRunner was one of the companies that almost doubled in size compared to so many organizations which shrunk or went out of business. Now, even better, if you're in a situation where you're looking to develop skills, advance your career, or develop capabilities that you don't currently have, well, this is a massive opportunity, because the skills you get when you're working with multiple clients is huge. So again, my name's Mark. I have an objective here of helping to give you so much information that you are able to make a good decision, so that when we get more information from you, it's a win-win opportunity. So that's the goal. There can't be a win-lose scenario. It's a commitment to finding a new relationship with a new team member that can provide this type of consultative support to our team. So this is not a typical model, as you can tell, but it is part of how we like to present ourselves when we are moving through an accelerated process. Now, there's no artificial intelligence here. These are all real people behind the scenes. I'm actually recording this from a suburb of Dallas where GlobeRunner is located, and putting this out for you to be able to review. So the timeline we have is not in stone. We are going to develop a relationship with the right person when we find them. So there's no risk that if this has been sitting out there as an open solicitation for a couple weeks, that it's closed. It will close it when we find the right person. That's it. Now, a little bit more about the company. There's a downloadable document, which is an overview of the total solicitation, the scope of work, and information about the business. I think you need to know about the company that you might be working for. So I can tell you personally that when you pick up a new client, if you pick up a client from hell, you have no life. You're risking getting paid. It doesn't look good on your resume. You don't even want to use them as a reference in the future. You feel like you got maybe paid for the time, but it doesn't add any value to your career journey or your professional portfolio growth. What we want to be able to show is that GlobeRunner is a stable organization. It's growing. It's got a fantastic reputation. It's got a commitment to its people, its customers, and its community. So you see that, first of all, in the core values. Core values for GlobeRunner include putting clients first, leading with integrity, owning the work. That means every single person, whatever role they're in, they own it. They're responsible for that. Playing to win. We're competitive, because when our clients give us their work opportunities and we're creating and designing and deploying digital marketing opportunities for them, we're competing in the marketplace for them to win. And then finally, never stop learning. That is a commitment we have in order to always stay on the bleeding edge of what the market is doing, what technology is doing, in order to be the best possible service to our customer. And then one more is be the spark. And that means that we take personal responsibility for being the ignition point to be able to take things and move things forward. So you can see a little bit more about the core values. Now, the problem ultimately that we solve is very simple. Sales in a business doesn't happen without marketing. And a lot of organizations have do-it-yourself marketing. They've got some internal person that's handling everything. I've always said that it's kind of like DIY surgery. It's a mess, it's painful, and it costs a lot more. It's a lot better when you get highly competent people with a track record that know what they're doing, and could get results. So one of the things that GlobeRunner offers that's unique is a combination of both strategy, tactical work, and the technical support to be able to make it happen and drive results and maintain the continuity of those campaigns. So our services include content marketing, paid media, SEO, website design development. It's the whole thing, and the other ancillary things that support those. Another thing you might want to consider is the differentiators we have in the marketplace. So one of the things we're really proud of is the tenure. With over 10 years in the market, we're not just a pop-up business that was established recently. In this industry, organizations come and go all the time, and a lot don't have longevity. They might have a sexy website, but that's about it. We have a track record of success, and we have that proof in the pudding with our clients. We also have an amazing group of well-rounded experts. Like I said, internally, we've got the strategic folks, tactical and technical folks. So we've got all those capabilities in a unique environment where we can offer turnkey solutions to the clients. Another thing is our focus. We typically focus on the middle market. It's a very underserved part of the market. Here's why. Small business is the target of many individuals, consultants, small businesses, because they are there's no red tape. Projects are easily secured, and they're not significantly complex in scope. So a lot of folks are trying to focus on the small business marketplace. And in the large market, there's a lot of competition by the large gorillas that provide, large complex services. The middle market is kind of underserved. And so that's where we've been able to focus and have an amazing presence. So ultimately, the project itself is our mission. When we get engaged, the goal is to retain the client and make sure that the client is profitable. And that profitability equation is on two sides. We want them to be able to see success from the digital marketing efforts, absolutely, of course. But then we also need to know that what we're doing is profitable for us, and we've got it scoped properly, priced properly, and delivered properly. Now, to you, as a senior creative strategist, here's more information that you can look up. I'm not going to go over all of the details, but I want to highlight a few things. First of all, again, we're looking for an independent consultant. The reason why is this is project-based. You're not an employee. We're not controlling your time or the way you get things done. It's task-oriented. It's very specific to scopes of work that are determined by our customers on an as-needed basis. Now, there could be an expansion of that work in a couple different directions. One is there could be more contract opportunities that come in, and we need somebody to jump in and take on that strategic front end of the work effort to design the initial concepts and marketing strategy and the messaging. But then it also could be that you've got skills to be able to assist with some of the tactical work itself. We're open to that. So we're going to ask you some questions, if this is of interest to you, about your individual technical skills as well, so we can see just to what degree you want to play in this sandbox. So specifically on the front end, we've got to have the focus on developing the strategic content strategy. And this could be for small scale projects or large scale projects, either one. And it includes digital branding, creating content, and the tech stack that's going to support it. All of that's required. Now, your relationship with us is primarily to get a handle on what's the client's goals and how is that best achieved. What does that strategy look like, and what are the concepts? Think of it in terms of developing the wireframes and the templates that the technical team and the tactical team is going to then deploy going forward. Now, you want to stay involved to make sure that things are still on point and going in the direction that you prescribe, but the goal is to use your background, skills, and experience to develop that strategic plan and the tactical way in which it's going to be deployed, and then let the team focus on doing it. And then, of course, you can watch that move to completion and be involved as a guide and a strategist. Now, what's in this for you? Ultimately, I think as I look at this opportunity, freedom is the biggest thing. If you're in a full-time job and you've been looking at starting your own agency, or you've already made that leap and now you're in need of additional clients, man, there's nothing better than being able to work for yourself and pay the bills and be able to work from anywhere. Okay, so that's huge. I mean, that's even more valuable than the money. Once you realize that you don't have to go to work every day and drive your car every day, and you can work remotely and all these things, you have the best of a lot of scenarios. Another benefit to you is the money. Now, what we're going to ask you for is your rate card. And let me explain that. We're looking for best value. That doesn't mean the cheapest. That means who can do the best job and it fit within our economy. So we've got deal economics based on our contract with the client. And if they're paying us $100 an hour, we can't pay you $150 an hour, okay? The economics don't work out, obviously. So just want you to know that. What we're looking for from you is what do you need to be paid for the work you do? So there's a big difference between a rate card and a bill rate. I want to cover that with you real quick. A bill rate is typically what you charge for your time. So if you call me and you say, Mark, I want you to come into our business and help out with something, I'm going to say, okay, it's $155 an hour for my time. But if you call me and say, hey, Mark, can you come over and help me rake the leaves in the backyard Saturday afternoon, and I'll take you to lunch, I'm not going to charge you $155 for raking the leaves, okay? Because that work is not worth $155 an hour. Now, if you want me as a talent strategist to help out with something in your organization, well, that's a different bill rate because it's based on the work, not the person. So if you have been in consulting for any amount of time, you probably already have a rate card. That means when you're doing website design, you're charging X per hour. When you're doing research, you're charging X per hour. But when you're doing strategy, or when you're working with a client to develop a strategic implementation plan, or developing a new brand for a product launch, that's a different rate, because the work itself is valued differently. Okay, that's the way a mature organization presents its capabilities relative to its rate that it's charging for the work. So what are yours? And I'm challenging you to think about that before you provide that information to us, because we're going to use that to be able to make sure that your rate for what you charge for the work you do and the different types of work you do is consistent with our deal economics. Okay, what else is in it for you? First of all, I mentioned freedom. Second, we talked a little bit about the money, and then growth. If you're growing your portfolio, huge, okay, because you're going to be connected to a bunch of amazing opportunities, and then you're going to have a tactical and a technical team that's going to implement your ideas, and that's going to make you look really good. Okay, so your portfolio is going to look even more amazing than it does now because of the growth opportunities that you're being given through this opportunity. Now, I'm going to also suggest there's some intangible things. One of the things that we see all the time is you're getting exposure to a lot of different industries because Globe Runner supports hundreds of different clients. You're getting all this exposure. You're developing the agility and the learning that comes with working with multiple B2B organizations, B2C campaigns, lead generation, e-commerce. I mean, the diversity is amazing. You personally will become more valuable after a year or two of working with us in a consulting capacity. So that's going to add value to you long-term, no question about it. So, my personal perspective is, yeah, the money's good. The career opportunities are cool. The growth is good, but the long-term benefit to you by making you more valuable is huge by far. So that means, if you want to go into a more of a leadership role, you want to take on the senior level digital strategist role within a larger company, or you want to be a business owner, establish your own agency, you have all of those opportunities available to you because of what you learn and the skills you develop. Okay, so I don't want this to go too long, so let me talk a little bit real quick about the job requirements. Obviously, we're looking for people that have past experience and previous responsibility with creating marketing and advertising campaigns. That means from the original initial strategy where the client says, here's what we're trying to accomplish and we don't know how to do it, all the way to developing the vision, the messaging platform, the templates for execution. I mean, the whole thing. If you've done that, awesome. We want to know. And then if you've been involved in integrated content across multiple different types of channels, digital, social media, paid media, mobile, all these things, we want to know, that's what we're looking for. And then also, if you've got experience with some copywriting, a design, or any production work where you're tactically now involved in some of the build, we want to know that as well. So clearly, you're going to need to have some technical skills, being able to handle Photoshop or Illustrator, InDesign, Figma. Unbounce is a page creation platform. There's many out there, something like that. And then other technical skills that we would want you to have is, of course, be able to use Microsoft Office products, because we use Word and Excel and PowerPoint for all kinds of stuff. Adobe and the markup and the PDF edit function is important. And now Asana is one of our project management tools. We're going to specifically ask you about that. If you've got experience with Asana, that's fantastic. And then there's some professional capabilities that you're going to need to have, like great communication skills, being able to work with multiple audiences, like B2B, B2C, internal folks, being able to work with a creative team internally and not be a bull in a china shop. Competency with all the technical stuff we've already talked about, everything from brand activation, different project management tools. So we'll ask you about some of those things in the process, but don't be shy. If this is interesting to you and you want to jump in on this, then do not be shy. We're going to give you a link to a questionnaire. It should already be in the email we sent you. And there's opportunities for you to give us additional info, a link to your portfolio, whatever you want. Give us all the information you want us to consider, because we actually look at your answers on the questionnaire as more valuable than your resume, because we're asking for very specific things. So the next step from here is download the overview of the opportunity and the company and all that. Take a look at that. Take a look at the questionnaire. You can edit your answers after you submit them, okay? Give us anything you want us to consider. Now's the time to self-promote. And we will read everything. From that, we then take a look at what are potential next steps with you. And there's a whole lot of ways we could stay connected. I mean, come on, you're in our industry. If you're responding to this and still listening, then you're one of us. And we would love to stay connected with you somehow, no matter what. But if you're the ideal person for this opportunity and we're an ideal organization for you, then we're probably going to move to a phone or Zoom interview to be able to talk to you in more detail. And that'll be with some of our technical team members. But regardless of what happens, we appreciate your engagement, your involvement, and anything we can do to help you, that's fantastic. If you see us as if you see a way to partner with us that's different or beyond this opportunity itself, talk about it with us, because we're all about creating connections and being able to make reality happen for all the parties involved. Win, 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 win. So let's stay connected. And in the meantime, we will look forward to hearing from you in the process by the completion of the questionnaire. And we'll look at that and figure out next steps. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening. And we'll look for a response from you soon. Thank you so much.